Welcome to today's episode. Our guest today is Joe. He is a speaker, a podcaster, a 5 times author. He is a expert LinkedIn strategist and an AI guru. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here today.
So, why don't we start off by you just sharing a minute or two of context about who you are and what you do? You do a lot of amazing things.
Yeah, happy to share. My name is Joe Applebaum. I'm the CEO of Ajax Union. We're a business to business digital marketing agency. We're very focused on creating campaigns for clients that help them be able to really take advantage of what the internet has to offer. You know this because you're in marketing, but if you want to be able to grow your business, if you're not on the internet, if you're not doing things correctly, then you're really going to be missing out. I started a company that does training as well, training people on how to use LinkedIn specifically. We've trained over 1,000 people on how to leverage LinkedIn. And now we've developed an AI for LinkedIn called Evie AI. And with Evie AI, you can have the AI write posts for you and write comments on LinkedIn and help you with direct messages and many other things. I'm really excited to be able to share these things with the world. I wrote a book called High Energy Marketing. I have a high energy marketing podcast, and I'm really excited about making a difference for other people. I'm on a mission to help more people have a voice with artificial intelligence.
Amazing. So, let me first ask you, I'm very curious about the EVAI and AI on top of LinkedIn. Does this really work? Are you having great results with it? Are your clients having great results with it? Tell us a little bit about that.
We have 10,000 users in 35 countries around the world. And people are paying for Evie AI because it actually works. We allow people to try it without even giving us their credit card. But after that, they invest in it because it actually works. The way it works is it gets to know who you are, and then it creates content based on who you are. So if you use AI, the content that typically it's going to come out of AI is going to be very generic if the AI doesn't know who you are. But if you're able to prompt it and tell it who you are and save that as a persona like you can do with Evie AI, now every single time you want to leave a comment, it knows who you are, it knows what the post's about, and then drafts a comment for you. And if you don't like it, you can change the goal, you can change the tone, you can change the voice, you can change the persona. There's so much you can do. We also give you the ability to save templates so that you can use very specific templates if you want specific verbiage and you want to be able to train the AI on what to say. And we could also save templates of prompts to use so that you don't have to sit down and figure out what to put into a prompt. You can prompt it with very specific templates. We also allow you to save users to lists. So if you want to strategically comment on specific people's posts on a regular basis, all the posts will be available within Evie AI. You just click a button, you load that user's posts, and then you can drop comments with AI. It's very powerful.
And you get to review or you can see the comments that are being posted. So, if you don't like them, you can edit them, like you were saying.
Yeah, so before you actually post the comment, there's a difference between an AI agent that does things for you and there's an AI assistant. Every AI is not an agent, it's an assistant. It's not going to do it instead of you, it's going to do it together with you. So it'll draft it for you, and if you don't want to hit the post button, you don't have to hit the post button. You can hit the regenerate button or change it or whatever. There's so many different options that you can have, but it's semi-automatic. It's an assistant that assists you rather than an agent that does it for you.
And tell me if I have this right. My understanding is that the way the LinkedIn algorithm works is when you comment on other people's posts, that gets seen even by a higher percentage of your network than if you make a post. Like they weight the commenting very high in the algorithm. So if you post a couple comments a day, that's one of the best ways to really be doing networking and getting attention from other people because it's more natural than just blasting them with unsolicited email, right?
There are three things that you want to do every single day. You want to get exposure, you want to get credibility, and you want to get more meetings on LinkedIn. If you want exposure, you have to post. My recommendation is post once a day on LinkedIn. A post usually expires after 24 hours, so you want to make sure that you're posting at least once a day. Commenting will get you credibility. Why? Because people will see that you're a real person. You're leaving comments on LinkedIn, and yes, those appear on your profile. They appear on the person's profile, the author where you're leaving the post, but they also roll up into the feed and your connections see your comments as well. And then the third thing is if you want meetings, you need to send direct messages to people to book those meetings behind the scenes. So you need to do all three: posting, engaging, and messaging, if you want exposure, credibility, and you want meetings. But each one has a different function. The function of a post is to get you that exposure. The function of a comment is to get you the credibility to show that you're real. And the function of a message is for you to build that relationship so that you can actually have a conversation on the phone.
I love it. That makes perfect sense. I agree 100%. And I think LinkedIn's been investing pretty heavily in AI themselves. So what have you noticed and seen related to that?
Well, LinkedIn is investing in using AI, but the AI that they have is very generic. So if you tell, hey, draft me a post, it's going to draft you like a paragraph that's extremely generic that you would never want to post. It's also not going to prepare a hook for you. It's not going to prepare main points, call to action. It's not going to give you hashtags. Our tool, Evie AI, is built into LinkedIn, but knows who you are, and then it drafts posts with hooks, main points, call to action, hashtags. Also, LinkedIn, when it suggests a comment, it says great post. That's their comment. For me, when I suggest a comment, I'll suggest a paragraph of information related to who you are and how it ties into the post. You can also add calls to action inside your comments embedded. So, for example, if I want to promote my demo of Evie AI or my school community or my latest book or my upcoming webinar, I can incorporate that into both the comments, the direct messages, and even into posts with a click of a button, so it sounds like exactly I just put it in there and it's completely related to the post.
That's awesome. And you've had pretty good success. Just I like to see when people walk the walk, if you will, and you have almost 50,000 people following you on LinkedIn. You've used these sorts of strategies to get there, right?
You can have up to 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. Every connection becomes a follower automatically. I'm turning over my followers now and basically removing the old ones and adding new ones that are more engaged. So I go through them and I just remove a couple every single day and I add a couple new every single day. I have over 1,000 people waiting to connect with me on LinkedIn. I would say that using the tools to make sure that you're posting, engaging, and messaging on LinkedIn every day will help you be able to not just have more quantity, but also more quality. I don't believe in going viral. I believe in being strategic. So the right 1,000 people will help you generate millions of dollars in revenue. So I always tell people, don't worry about having 50,000 followers. Concern yourself with having the right 1,000 connections, and that'll help you build trust and get the right clients in the door. I was always a fan of getting 1,000 people in the door. Now I happen to have 50,000. I'm adding a lot of value to a lot of people, but the goal is never to be able to have millions of people. The goal is to have the right 1,000 people.
That's awesome. So, other than use EVAI, which you shared some awesome things about, what are the top 2 or 3 additional things that you would share today that people should be doing with LinkedIn and with AI to be successful?
Number one is make sure that you're adding connections every single day. Most people are not adding connections. When you send a connection, make sure to add a connection note. Evie AI will write that note for you if you want, or you can write it yourself. But you want to be sending out at least 20 connections every single day to new people so that you can expand your network every day and do it strategically. The second thing you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're actually looking at your notifications. There's a lot of great information in your notifications: when people's birthdays are, their anniversaries, when they change jobs, also who posted recently in your network that you might be wanting to follow. And so making sure that you're looking at your notifications, you're paying attention to that, seeing what's going on there, and staying top of mind with people is going to be key. And then the third thing I would tell you is, if I look at most people's profiles on LinkedIn, they're under optimized, which means that they don't really have information in their headline that makes sense. They don't really have call to action in their about section. It's not organized properly. They don't have recommendations. They don't have endorsements. And so make sure that your profile has a great banner, has a great photo, has a great headline that says who you help and how you help them. Evie AI will help craft your headline and your about section for you. But make sure that you have a solid profile, because if I Google your name, I Google people's names all the time, by the way. I'm a professional Googler. When I Google someone's name, what's the first thing you think comes up on Google? In your case, your LinkedIn comes up number one, Instagram number two, TikTok number three. That's in your case, Eric. But many people, they don't even know what comes up in Google because they haven't been Googling themselves. But if I take a look at most people, they don't have an optimized profile and they're number one on Google, so it just looks bad. So make sure that you optimize your profile. So those are the three things that I would tell you to do.
Awesome advice. Where do you think things are going with LinkedIn and AI in the next 6 to 12 months? Do you have any predictions?
I think personalization is going to be next level. When you sit there and see the ability for me to create personalized personas for each person, each contact, Evie AI is going to, right now, if I click a button, I can summarize your entire profile. So, can you imagine if I wanted to send you an email, instead of me sending you a generic email, I can send you an email about the fact that you're helping top performing companies 3x their success, about how you specialize in tripling companies, how you served as a board member, and I could list out the organizations where you're a board member. I could all the different things, all the keynotes that you do, the podcast, everything that you're doing. I can speak to that, especially that you were the top B2B marketer influencer in 2022. I can mention all that with a click of a button. So I see hyper personalization that's where we're going.
Yeah, I think that's right. For the 10,000 people who are using EVAI, that's a pretty big sample. What sort of results or benefits are they seeing?
The results they're seeing is an increase in profile views. So when you take a look at how many profile views you have, most people just have maybe a handful of profile views. Maybe they have 30, 40, 50, 100 if you're lucky. Our clients are seeing an 1,800% increase in profile views. They're getting
Wow.
more, they're getting to use LinkedIn more. So it used to be that people would leave 0 comments. Now they're leaving 5 to 10 comments every single day. The posts that are showing up on the feed alone, which is giving them a lot more credibility. They're sending out more connection requests. They're posting more often. And as a result, they're getting more exposure, more credibility, and ultimately more meetings.
I think that makes sense. I tried to actually go through and do 3 to 5 comments a day manually. It
So
was a lot
hard.
harder than I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be. Just to be honest with you. I'm not trying to sell EVAI, but that was just, if you try to do it yourself, anyone listening, like, you'll see how hard it is. So I know we're just about out of time. Any final thoughts?
I just want to let you know that the secret to living is giving. Dropping a comment on someone's post is actually a form of giving. You're doing the person a favor because when you comment on someone's post, their post goes further in the algorithm. So I'm going to go to Eric's post right now. He just posted something on LinkedIn 5 days ago. And by the way, Eric, I recommend posting every day. But you posted 5 days ago. I'm not just going to give it a regular, I'm going to give it a light bulb like. And then I'm going to have Evie AI draft a comment that includes a demo of Evie AI. With one click of a button, as I'm talking right now, I'm able to leave a demo of Evie AI just like that. And that allows people to be able to see exactly what I'm doing because I don't have to sit here and copy and paste something in. It literally ties it directly in to the conversation that you're having. Jeffrey Klein's insights on credibility versus relatability are crucial for B2B branding and blah, blah, blah. And it puts in a demo of Evie AI right there in the comments. So what I want you to realize is that the secret to living is giving. Giving is the key, and dropping comments is a form of giving. So make sure you drop more comments and do more people a favor. Get their content out there more.
I agree. 100%. Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate you being on the show. I'm going to link to your website so people can check out EVAI and learn more about this, follow you so they can see all your tips every day on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. I'll see you soon. Boom.